Hey guys, Mandy here, and welcome to my channel. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell, and make sure your options are set to all. That way you're notified every time I post a video. Like this video and make sure to comment and tell me how much you loved it, and I will see you guys in the video. Bye-bye! This series is not meant to dictate how others make their roleplays or meant to tell others their way of creating is wrong. This is just my experience with creating roleplays and everything I've picked up along the way. This series is only meant to educate those who want to learn how to create roleplays. I hope this helps. Hello everyone, Mandy here, and welcome to my channel, and welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be the very first video of the brand new and revamped How to Roleplay series. Now, as you guys know, I started this series a while ago with Atmosphere and Lily Gumdrop, and the series did so well across all of our channels, so I'm just gonna thank you guys so much for that. We really didn't expect it to do that well, to be completely honest, but nonetheless, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot from it. Ever since stopping that series or completing it, a lot of what I have done, or a lot of what I do as a roleplay content creator, has really changed. And I do a lot of things really differently now, and that's because since that series, I've learned so much more, and I want to share that knowledge with you guys. Now, this time around, I'm doing the series kind of all by myself, as you guys know, Atmosphere isn't in the roleplay community anymore and doesn't do anything with her channel. It's something that she just lost motivation for. Even though she liked to do them, it's just something she felt like she couldn't pursue doing long term. And Lily, I'm not sure what her situation is with roleplays, but it seems as if her series have stopped altogether too, and I'm the only one left within the group who did the How to Roleplay series who's still continuing doing roleplays. So with also that being said, I'm revamping the whole series. I'm redoing every single topic and giving a new perspective on it, and also giving my own thoughts and maybe some new things that may not have been included in the other videos, and going a little bit more into detail about the topics in general. So buckle up, and hopefully you guys are going to be really interested in this series and learn a bunch more from it. Now that all of that is out of the way, this video is going to be roleplay types. If you guys watched the first series, you know what roleplay types are, and I'm guessing if you just watch roleplays in general, you already know what roleplay types are, or the specific types of roleplays. I'm quickly going to go over them with a brief summary in this video, just in case you guys aren't aware, or if anybody else who is new to the series really just wants to know. The first roleplay type is cinematic. Cinematic roleplays, to be completely honest, take the longest, so I recommend stockpiling these episodes if you ever want to create this type of series. Cinematic roleplays often take more effort and take the longest time to produce, which is why they are the hardest. These types of roleplays require a lot of detail. When writing scripts, you have to input a lot of detail while writing, and you also have to proofread your script to make sure that you don't have any misspellings, or just to make sure that the script makes sense. That way your voice actors know what they're saying when reading these lines. I myself have missed quite a few misspellings or quite a few miswordings, and sometimes that translates into the episode, which isn't all that great. So if you ever need to do a skin change with an expression, say you want your character to go from normal to happy expression, or from happy to a sad expression, you'll need to include that in your script, so that way when you're recording and you're looking at your script, you won't forget it. If a line requires a specific tone or change of voice, make sure to write that in as well. Here, I'm going to show you a couple examples of how I include skin changes, or I imply that I need a specific tone for a specific character voice. Within this small little section, I am going to show you guys what I mean by including skin changes or switching tone of voices within your script. So this is the casted script, a series that will probably never come out, but it's just an idea for now, and it's cute. It might come out eventually, you never know. But with this series, it includes a lot of really high special effects. So basically, as you can see here, this sentence says, Renee is running through the forest away from a pack of rogue wolves. She reaches the edge of a village and accidentally runs into a guard, Nazon, which is a character. And as you can see, Nazon's skin changes right here, and it says You know, he's mad right here. And then right here is mad line. And he says, hey, watch where you're going, or something along those lines. I'm just paraphrasing, honestly. But from this, the voice actor can tell that this is a mad line and this is what he's going to need to sound like. Right down here, it says Renee is standing there looking shocked. Renee shocked skin. So Renee switches to a shocked skin. And then his, mood lightens a little bit and says, I'm sorry, are you alright? And he switches to a normal skin, and then Renee switches to a normal skin. As you can see, that's basically what I mean by skin changes. Just include skin changes within your script if you are going to be using expressions. You don't need to use expressions within Minecraft roleplay, but I recommend using them for something as detailed as this, and just in case you want to convey a specific emotion. Down here is where I'm going to show you where you can include changing of tone of voices. So as you can see, there's still skin changes. If you ever need a noise, you can just do that. The voice actor is going to know what you mean by it. And then down here, Raph's demeanor changes and he uses sarcastic, and this is a very sarcastic line. I wanted it to sound exactly as written within my head, so I included, a tone of voice, sarcastic. This line is supposed to sound like, at least within my head, geez, she seems perky. Something along those lines, which is a very sarcastic tone of voice, which, this line is very sarcastic, that she seems perky. Obviously, she's not, as you can see from up here. Where you can see I included a sigh right here, and once again down here, Nazon's demeanor changes, and he is mad, which I included right here, just so the voice actor knows, hey, this is a mad line. So yeah, hopefully that gives you guys a little bit more context as to what I mean by, skin changes or tone of voice changes within your script. Also, recording takes a lot of detail as well. Your recordings 100% will be long, and you want to condense them as much as possible. You might end up with a 40-minute clip or 40-minute long recording and end up with a 5-minute scene, which is honestly all too common within cinematic roleplays. So if your roleplay is a little bit more fast-paced and you want to make things a little bit longer, I suggest getting a lot of transitional shots. A lot of shots that show, walking scenes, or shots that show the building before actually, switching to the character inside of the building, basically. This will also help with making your videos more aesthetically pleasing and just making the videos all around just more pretty. It's a little bit more extra work, but I 100% believe that it's worth it. 100% worth it. Personally, I don't recommend this type of series for your first ever roleplay unless you do extensive research on it. You will 100% burn yourself out so quickly, as these roleplays do take a lot of effort. And the reason why I'm always saying and repeating myself why these roleplays take a lot of effort is because I want you guys to understand how much time these roleplays take to make. Because with these roleplays, you're essentially cutting out all of Minecraft's in-game sound effects, and you'll need to add your own, like walking steps, doors opening and closing, first-person roleplays. First-person roleplays are the bedrock of the Minecraft roleplay community. This is the type of roleplay that most people made when the community first started up, and it's also the most common known roleplay, as AFMAO's MCD is within this format, or a mixture of both cinematic and first person, which I'll get into a little bit later. This is still, to this day, the most made type of roleplay out there, along with improv roleplays. You'll still need a well-devised script for this type of series, but it won't be as detailed as a cinematic roleplay. Unless you are wanting to basically have a very detailed script and make everything super duper detailed, but still record within a first person, and honestly it just depends on what you're planning to do. Although this type of series is still fully scripted with character lines, etc. So keep that in mind when choosing which voice actors you want. This type of series relies more on builds. Your sets should be more detail oriented, since the audience sees more of the set than they would with a cinematic series. The cinematic series, you are obviously zoomed in like this. You're more zoomed in and you don't see as much of the set, but when your POV is this, Obviously, having more detail to your set helps a lot more. And plus, it'll give the viewers a little bit more knowledge about the characters. So with this type of series, I 100% recommend focusing a lot of detail into the builds. This part is honestly just a personal preference, but excessive head bobbing is objectively bad, within my opinion. You don't want your viewers to look at this all the time when you are bobbing. It's just going to be nauseating and they will not like it and they will click off your video. Usually you would want to do this, or very, very slow head movements, or maybe even just keep the camera still altogether. Something that's not going to be overly excessive and something that's not going to make your viewers want to puke. Just keep in mind that you are always the camera. No matter what type of roleplay you are making, you are the camera. Please keep that in mind. Within first-person roleplays, you can either use custom NPCs or recruit body actors for the series. Custom NPCs takes a lot of setup, but you don't have to direct people, and it takes less time and it takes less room for error. With body actors, it can take longer and you will have to stop to direct people, and they can mess up. But keep in mind, you really shouldn't fault your body actors for messing up every once in a while. A lot of it is easily editable, you can stop and then go, or you can edit around it. But in my opinion, the final product comes out a lot better with body actors. That way you have actual movements. It also makes the characters a little bit more lively, within my opinion. Mix of cinematic and first person. A combination of two different types, it means some scenes will be fully cinematic and other scenes will be first person. All you have to do is think of AFMAU MCD Season 2, and then you'll know what this type of roleplay is. If you haven't seen MCD Season 2, you can think of My Street. Just My Street altogether, honestly. This type of roleplay still requires a lot of work, along with all the other types of roleplays. They all require a lot of work, but this one is more on the fully cinematic side of harder work. Many of the previous tips I've mentioned still matter, but some are kind of interchangeable, and you can really simplify a lot of them. I still recommend getting those transitional shots to set the scene and mood of your video/roleplay. This can also give you the benefits of showing non-main characters to give you more context to the series. Within my opinion, this is what I would do if I were to make this type of roleplay. All first-person shots/scenes are the main character, and all cinematic are separate from the main character, or even minorly include the main character to where they're not really the main focus of the scene. Personally, I like to make big emotional parts or scenes fully cinematic, so that way it conveys more. You get to add more feeling to it with sound effects, music, etc., and it sets up the scene a lot better. Improv. This type of roleplay is 100% first person and it has zero type of script. Sometimes it may have a small little tiny summary where people go off of a bigger idea, but most of it is mainly improv. When you really want to think of an improv roleplay, think of literally any FNAF roleplay or something that is widely more known. The Dream SMP is 100% improv roleplay. Even though it's not marketed as one, I've seen a little bit of it and it's 100% an improv roleplay. This is the easiest type of series that you can make, as it requires minimal setup. I still recommend, though, making the sets as nice as possible, depending on what your overall theme is or what the idea is. Obviously, if you're trying to do something like the Dream SMP and you want to do mostly survival-based content, you won't need that, you won't need bigger sets. But if you want to do something like a FNAF series, then I recommend making the set as nice as possible, as you're still the camera and you're still going to be showing off everything. So it won't be zoomed in, you'll be a normal POV, and the audience will be seeing most of the set. With this type of series, you're going to need to be really quick on your feet. Even though you may be following a small idea or a summary, you have to come up with other stuff to dramatize the episode or keep people watching. Usually all of the interesting parts are scripted or at least go off of a main core idea, but a lot of it is going to be made up by you, by things that you say within the moment. All that you really need for this type of series is an idea, a set, and a team of voice actors or friends that can get onto a server with you to record, as all of the acting is done in real time. Make sure that you have some sort of system set up for your voice actors or people who are helping you record so no one talks over each other, because no one is honestly going to want to hear everybody talk over each other for 10 minutes straight. It's not going to be fun, and it's just not going to sound the best, to be completely honest. And plus, you don't want your voice actors changing the core theme of the episode. If you have an idea for that roleplay or for that episode, you really want to stick to it to get your point across. Hopefully this video helps you guys and helps you understand a little bit more of the different roleplay types that there are. There are probably a couple more out there, but this is the main... There are probably a couple more out there of roleplay types, but this is mainly the big 4 that I focus on and that I have the most knowledge on. Roleplay genres. This topic we didn't really go over within the last series, so I thought this video would be good to kind of touch on these a little bit. I will kind of go more into depth on these within the script writing video, which will be after this one, but since we're talking about roleplay types here, I feel like it would be fitting to also mix in the most common roleplay genres that you will see within the community. It's really important that you guys know which genres are easier to make or harder to make. Modern roleplays. Modern roleplays are objectively the most common genre that you will see within the community because they are the easiest to make. This is because we're more familiar with this genre or this time period because we're currently living within modern times, or what we equate to modern times. And it's super easy for audiences to relate to. This type of genre is mostly seen with roommate types of series that you see a lot of other creators make. This is where you, the main character, moves into a new town or into a new building with some friends or alone and meets new interesting characters that either live on the same street as you or within the same building as you. Medieval roleplays. Medieval series used to be very, very, very popular because of AFML MCD. When that series blew up, so did a lot of other people's series because they were kind of around the same genre. You used to see these pop up so much just because of how popular they were, but not as much anymore because they're harder to make. But in my opinion, that's really sad because this is my favorite type of roleplay to make, but it's understandable why it's not as popular. Like I said before, this series is harder to make as you would have to familiarize yourself with the time period, and because the genre is usually linked with fantasy or magic, which includes a lot of special editing or heavy mods to pull this type of series off. This is also the type of series where you will probably see the most comments comparing you to other creators, which understandably isn't within the creator's control. With any type of series, you will see comments saying, oh, this is like this creator, or you're making series kind of like this person is making. With those types of series, I would recommend to just ignore them. They're not harming you in any way. It's just you need to make sure that you're not comparing yourself to other creators or just, taking those into note because it's your series at the end of the day. You're your own person and you really shouldn't go off of what other people say. High school roleplays. This is going to be the big one. There is a reason why I'm choosing to talk about this separately from the modern genre. It's because this type of series has become so popular within the community to make. It's just its own genre at this point. High school roleplays are its own genre to me at this point. High school roleplays are easily relatable to younger audiences, which is mostly the Minecraft community as a whole, as they are going through that current phase within their life. And it's the phase within our own lives that a lot of us remember or like to look back on because they're just so much more simpler times. This type of roleplay, within my opinion, is super easy to make because it requires minimal setup if you get like a city map or something, and scripts kind of write themselves as teenage years or overly dramatic normally. Literally. I can remember where I was so overly dramatic as a teenager. I'm still overly dramatic, but nonetheless, the scripts kind of write themselves. I myself am thinking of even coming back to the genre in the future because I have so many ideas for long, ongoing school series that I honestly want to, make, because it's always been a dream of mine to see a character starting from point A to point B. So like maybe they start in high school and then you see them continue on into college, which is something that I'm interested in doing. It just takes a lot of time. You can really deep dive into more serious topics with proper trigger warnings, by the way. I advise adding any type of like trigger warning to any type of serious topic that you do cover within a roleplay, but cover it sort of lightly, within my opinion. That's just my advice. But within this phase of our lives, we really do experience so many different things at once, and we learn so many new lessons that it's easy to kind of deep dive into more serious topics. Or if you would like to, you can honestly keep it upbeat and happy and comical, which I see a lot of people do, and it works. It just really matters what you want to do with the series. There is no going around with this type of roleplay. FNAF roleplays. This is so common within the community. I kind of have to touch on it briefly. If you want to make this type of series, go ahead. You can get away with more serious topics within the genre, as the storyline of FNAF, its core storyline, is in itself very, very dark. But if you don't want to make this type of series, then you don't have to. I recommend doing a lot of research so you can at least somewhat stay true to the main story of FNAF, or just within that realm of storytelling. That way the audience will stay with your series because you're at least touching on the original material. My pet peeve is when I see creators make FNAF roleplays but go off and do stuff like Freddy is in love or Foxy is good at PvP. I think it should at least someone stick to the more dark side of topics like Freddy's evil stalker or Foxy dark secret, something along those lines. But in my opinion, those will draw more people into watching that type of content. Hopefully this video helped you guys, and thank you so much for watching it and sticking around and listening to me talk about these different types of things. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comment section down below, and I will try to answer as many of them as I possibly can. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!